Alright, let's do a shorter episode of Retrospective today because, real talk, I just want to talk about probably the neatest Sonic compilation that's ever been released. Not counting the Gems collection, of course. And oh look, with the Sonic Origins compilation coming out at some point soon, it's topical. So pull out your old Sega Saturn or your internet pirate ship of choice, let's talk about Sonic Jam for the Saturn. And also the Tiger Gamecom. Woo. But first, let's talk about a cool service that's helping make today's video possible. ExpressVPN. Look friends, I finally made it. I'm finally doing a thing with a VPN on YouTube. That's gotta mean something, right? Anyways, in the nature most of us are on the internet in some form, whether it be gaming, conducting business, or in my case, trying to make a business out of gaming, it's important to keep your privacy and security in mind. Your ISP can see what type of stuff you look at and download, and hackers and public Wi-Fi networks can potentially steal and wreak havoc with your personal info. Thanks to ExpressVPN, you can keep yourself safe online and make your devices appear to be anywhere else in the world, all with the click of a button. It's that easy. Maybe make your computer appear in a region where the Ghibli films are on Netflix. No kidding, you can do that. It can cost you less than $7 a month and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. With lightning-fast speeds and server locations in 94 different countries, there's a reason they're a leader in their field. Go to expressvpn.com/stuffweplay today, find out how you can get started with ExpressVPN today. And that's an affiliate link too, so if you could click that and support your girl, that'd be great. Goodness, I will never tire of watching that. So, released back in 1997, Sonic Jam seems like a fairly standard compilation of the Genesis Sonic games, but for the Sega Saturn. Whether or not the existence of the compilation hinged on the cancellation of Sonic Extreme, a title that was set to be Sega's flagship Sonic title for the Saturn, and that got cancelled, and I also covered that and its whole horror development cycle in a 72-minute long documentary a few years back, I'm not sure. What I do know is that this compilation contains fully playable versions of Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and all of the Sonic and Knuckles lock-on combinations, like Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic 1 Blue Sphere. If you're unfamiliar with all of those games, there are other videos on YouTube covering those in depth. Indeed, maybe I'll even do a classic Sonic retrospective style vid myself sometime. But regardless, what I'm getting at is that the versions of these games in Sonic Jam are all solid ports. Or I guess technically remakes? These games aren't emulations so much as they're running natively on the Saturn. This causes some somewhat noticeable differences at times. By somewhat noticeable, I mean if you've played the Genesis games a million times, you'll notice it. If not, eh. And it's most notable of some of the sound effects. But this compilation also came with some cool extras. All the games have new easy modes that admittedly strip down the games a bit and remove some levels entirely, but arguably do make them really easy to dive into for newcomers. It's also the first ever instance of the spin dash move from Sonic 2 and onwards being added into a version of Sonic 1. There's also time attack modes, special stage attack modes, even manual scans of the Japanese and American manuals. I know that last thing seems pretty standard for a compilation like this, but in a world where not everyone had internet access, it's actually a really cool addition, even if the scans are not nearly as crisp as you get in a modern compilation, and at times can look laughably blurry. Oh, and there's more than that. Character art, promotional videos, this really weird-ass animation called Man of the Year. I'm not even going to try to go over what this is about, it's just so wild, and I really want whatever the team behind it was smoking. What I find to be really odd additions, though, are the intro and ending cutscenes from Sonic CD. Like, I don't get it. Why are those extras? Why not just add, Sonic CD? It's not like the Sega Saturn was a generation after and could easily run it. Actually, there is a Sonic timeline in here, an early one since Sonic 1 only came out in 91 and this from 97, but it's pretty rad, shows off stuff including the Sega Pico games, and reveals that Sonic's first ever public appearance wasn't even in a video game. Oh yeah, fun fact by the way, it was at a concert. But it shows that by the time this game came out, the PC port of Sonic CD was out, and also Knuckles Chaotix, which was on 32X. These are two really cool games that not an absolute ton of people have played at all. Indeed, to this day, Chaotix has never seen a port to any system besides its original release. And I kind of wish Sonic Team found a way to add them here. Oh well, at least we got acknowledgement that the Sega Sonic the Hedgehog arcade game exists. Y'all ever hear about this title? It's an arcade isometric platformer featuring Sonic and everyone's favorite DLC characters, Ray the Flying Squirrel and Recolor the Armadillo. Goodness, this needs a port to something because it's really fun and I've never really found a game quite like it. On the flip side, though none of these 3 games made it on this compilation, we did get a tech demo of a fully 3D classic Sonic experience that was made exclusively for Sonic Jam. This is arguably the only time something like this happened on the Saturn, not counting demo discs, racing titles, killer cancelled titles, or isometric Genesis ports that have 3D special stages. This is Sonic World, and it's honestly really cool. Instead of an old-fashioned extras menu, you control Sonic in this fully 3D overworld that even has support for the Saturn analog pad. And yeah, no, I mean, why use a menu to go look at character art when you can have a little 3D overworld with the character art in a house? There's even some ring collection challenges and some basic platforming, and oh my goodness, you can even use the shoulder buttons to move the camera! This really is a fully 3D demo. Okay, real talk, it is pretty impressive for the time. The music is lovely too, and the aesthetic is cartoony and wonderful. The whole Sonic World area looks like Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1, and I bet whatever big Sonic adventure in the works at this point was going to be amazing and truly built on this and show what the Saturn could do. That game wasn't on the Sega Saturn at all, was it? Anyway, so what's the point of this video? I mean, there are other better ways to play the classic Sonic games nowadays. Sega loves re-releasing this stuff. Well, maybe not so much Sonic 3, since it's been about a decade since its last port, but you know what? It will be in Sonic Origins. Well, I guess I wanted to make this because I want an excuse to talk about the Sega Saturn. And if you get the chance, this is a really unique collection of these classic games, and maybe I'll talk about some of the other Sonic stuff on the Saturn sometime. Yeah, the animations and 3D tech demo level are cool, don't get me wrong, but Saturn stuff is expensive nowadays, and it's not cool enough to justify selling a kidney just to be able to play an official copy. But the weird factor alone, I think, makes this one worth remembering. But wait, what about that Gamecom game of the same name? Fun fact about that system, despite how that console name is formatted, it's pronounced Gamecom, not Game.com. Imagine an OG Game Boy with a shoehorned-in touchscreen made by Tiger Electronics. You know, the people who made those really shitty LCD games. This quote-unquote port of Sonic Jam for the Gamecom is made in-house by Tiger. It features segments that are apparently based on Sonic 2, 3, and Sonic & Knuckles. Yeah, no Sonic 1 stuff here. Except none of it's based off any Sonic games, or so it feels. These are just one-zone long excerpts that are so far removed from the original source material that this is less of a compilation and more so feels like a totally original Sonic game. And if we were to judge it as an original title, it is easily the worst game in the entire Sonic series. Worse than the Bestiality game. Worse than Sonic Gets a Teaching Degree. It's incredibly slow. The physics don't work. The music sounds like someone sat on a keyboard for 30 seconds and then that recording got played through a Nokia phone speaker, and then that got looped back and played through another Nokia phone speaker, and then that got looped and put in a video game. And more than anything else, it's just boring to play. The game barely works and has all the grace and excitement of an unexpected loading screen in a better game. Overall verdict, as I said, it's the worst Sonic game of all time. The Gamecom Sonic Jam, I mean. Sonic Jam on Saturn, however, is a pretty neat little compilation, even if it overall feels like a footnote in the Sonic series history. Besides, where else can you get a physical copy of Man of the Year? Some shit really has to be seen to be believed. So on that note, that's it for this quick vid. It feels good to be back making videos, and not just on YouTube either. Yeah, my husband convinced me to start putting some short form stuff out on TikTok as well, and I've really been enjoying it so far. I also have a Patreon if you want to join those folks on screen here for as low as $1 a month. It gets you early videos and early speedrun podcast episodes too, along with exclusive patron vlogs and even access to my Discord server. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, stay classy, and I'll see you next time.